Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jalen. So first, before I get into this true crime case, I wanted to say that I'm going to be on the Dr. Oz show on September 17th is the date right now. If that changes, I'll let you guys know. We filmed the other day for it. So I will definitely be on the show. But if that date changes, I will like post a comment, like a pinned comment or whatever on here. Or make a post somewhere, I don't know. But it's supposed to be airing 9/17, and I had really bad anxiety and was like out of breath, and it was like super embarrassing. But they saw one of my YouTube videos on here and then contacted me about it and wanted me to come on the show. So I was on the show. It was super cool. Yeah, fun experience. So I hope some of you guys will, watch that and support me. But anyway, yeah, so let's get into this. So the case we're talking about today it reminds me of Chris Watts, but honestly I feel like it's either just as bad, if not worse. So I'm shocked that it doesn't have more like traction and there's not more people talking about it. This happened at the beginning of 2020, the end of 2019, and the fact that there isn't like a ton of videos really shocks me, honestly, to not see more people talking about this case. We're going to be talking about a man. His name is Anthony. It's either Todd or Todt. I'm just going to say Todd. So a man named Anthony Todd. And, from the outside, he appeared like a perfect person, a good guy with a good business, a good family, like, that just perfect picture, happy white picket fence type lifestyle family. And he would go on to murder his 3 children, his wife, and their family dog. It's a really sad story, and it doesn't make sense how there are people like this who just change so much, just overnight, it feels like. But anyway, so let's get into this case. So Anthony went to Montville High School in Connecticut and was pretty popular. Everyone really liked him. He was the team captain on the soccer team. He was most likely to succeed. He just was a very well-liked person, and he got along with everyone. He was good at academics and his extracurriculars, and just a good, well-rounded student that was well-liked. So Anthony would meet his future wife while in high school. Her name was Megan, and they were just that perfect couple that everyone wanted to be. She was an only child and a singer and really into music and band, and just a really nice girl. Like, everyone said that she was just a positive person, and she also got along with everyone. They were just that, that perfect couple everyone wanted to be, especially in high school. They both went to college to become physical therapists, and they got their degrees, and they stayed together during college, and people from their college said that they were great together and really liked both of them. And they would go on to 8 years later getting married. Tony is Anthony's nickname, claims that they didn't have their first sexual experience until a week before their wedding, which again was like 8 years later into their relationship, which I thought that was weird to share, but since it was shared, I'm sharing it with you. They had their first son, Alexander, in September of 2006, and he was a very talented young man, very sensitive and in tune with his emotions. He also liked music, and he was a really good kid. 4 years later, they would have their next child, Tyler, and Tyler gives me typical middle child vibes, like just fun and outgoing and a little crazy, the one that you got to really pay attention to. If you are a middle child or have a middle child in your family, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't mean that in a negative way. The middle children are somewhat overlooked, but they're also the funnest. And then July 2015, they had their final baby, Zoe, a little girl who, loved dolls and just girly things. She also loved to play with her brothers, be one of the boys. She's a beautiful little girl and just very sweet. They also got a family dog named Breezy, who was just, a cute, fun dog that the whole family loved and took care of. And then Megan, the wife, who was described as just being a really caring, sweet person who never yells or gets too angry. She really reminds me of my grandma. I call her Mima. Well, honestly, both my grandparents, the women. They're very just like gentle, calm, relaxed people who want to love and have a lot of love to give, and who would do anything for their children or their family. And like, that's who she really reminds me of. She seemed like she was a really loving, caring person and a really good mom. So Toni would open up 2 physical therapy practices in Connecticut, and Megan would work there for a while but decided she'd rather be a yoga instructor and focus on her children and like homeschooling and really giving her kids like a hands-on education, which I think is awesome. It takes a certain type of parent to homeschool. But yeah, so he had a physical therapy business that was thriving and doing super well. Everyone said that he was just an amazing father, husband, the kind of guy that you could call that would stop what he was doing to help you. He would break his back for his clients, like just whatever they needed. He'd come in on weekends and after hours and answer phone calls and would try to help people who were struggling with money. He really did a lot at this time for his community and his family. And he was pretty popular in the town. Everyone knew who he was and everyone liked him and trusted him, and he was a good guy at that time. In 2017, the family would buy a condo in Celebration, Florida, which is kind of where like Disney World is. It's like a super like old school type of town. It was like a super old school, like traditional modern for like the 50s, like just an old style. There's like a lot of pictures, I'll include some. It's a really pretty town. I don't think I'd want to live there, but it is a cool place to see. Anyway, they got a condo there, and Toni claims the reason they moved there is because Megan had Lyme disease or like some physical issues that she needed to be in a warmer climate for. So they moved to the condo, but Toni would continue to go back and forth. So he would work, I think it was Tuesday through Friday in Connecticut at the physical therapy office, and then come home on the weekends to spend time with his family and, you know, be a dad. He didn't have a place in Connecticut anymore because they had sold their house, so he would stay with his mom or hotels. He'd even sleep in his office. He did everything he could to make sure his clients were taken care of, again, at this time. That house, or that condo, I should say, became too small too fast, and the family needed something bigger to accommodate all of them and to be comfortable and have more room. So they bought a house, or rented, I should say, a house in Celebration, Florida as well. It was like 2 miles away from the condo, and they kept the condo for like family and people who like visited to stay in the condo, but they got the house for them and they moved in, and it's like a beautiful, perfect home, like what you just picture, the white picket fence type home with the perfect porch, and just like when you look at the house you would think so many happy things happen inside that house. It's like that kind of thing, that kind of vibe. In 2019, patients and people who knew Toni said that he just changed. He gained weight. He seemed very like not in the moment. He would be on the phone all the time, even when a patient was in the room. He just was very not there anymore. He wasn't the same person he used to be. And a lot of people just ignored it and, you know, thought like he probably has personal issues he's going through right now. And, you know, everyone is entitled to have hard times. But it was just very unlike him. It wasn't his normal behavior at all. November of 2019, the FBI come and see Toni. They had been surveilling him for a while and have reports from clients and past clients that he had this huge insurance fraud thing going on. He would like pretend like a patient came in on like days he wasn't even there, like days that the office wasn't even open. He would like overcharge patients' insurance for you know, sessions and things he never did for them. And I mean, he was getting away with it for a while, and he was doing all these things to pay for his lifestyle that he could not afford, and also, you know, take money from the insurance companies. You know, it's like a victimless crime. It's not, but that's probably how he saw it. And he just was taking all of this money. He was getting loans from this place to pay off this place, but also get a loan from that place to pay that place. And it was just like a huge mess. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars that he was stealing. So originally when the FBI was questioning him, he denied everything and said, no, like something's not right, something's wrong here. And then eventually he confessed and, you know, took full responsibility for his actions, but said that he was going home for the holidays, which I think it's weird that they allowed him to do this. But he said he was flying home for the holidays to be with his family, and that he would come back in December. I believe it was December 8th, that he would come back and he would come with his lawyer and interview with the FBI and tell them what they wanted to know and go from there. So the FBI was like, okay, cool, go home, fly home to your family, which again, weird. So he went home to his family. So usually for the holidays, Megan and Tony and all the kids would fly back to Connecticut because their family was there. You know, you spend holidays with your family usually, and they weren't this year. And her family thought it was weird, wanted to know why, and was asking Megan like, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you coming here? She's like, oh, we're going to St. Augustine. And the family was like, huh, it's kind of weird. But like, you know, they like to travel and they like to go places, and we hope they have a good holiday. So sometime in November, Megan, her phone, texted her aunt and said that they were too sick to talk on the phone, come to the phone. Like they couldn't talk to anyone because they're way too sick, but they're still gonna try to make their St. Augustine trip. And her family said the text just didn't even seem like they came from her, that they got bad vibes from it, but they were like, okay, well, you know, we'll figure it out later. If they're sick, we'll give them some space. A week before Christmas, Tony would text from his phone to her family that they could not come to the phone. They were going off the grid, that Megan had lost her phone, and that none of them should expect to hear from them anytime soon, which was very weird and concerning for everyone. No more communication would come from Megan's phone, and the last time anyone saw the whole family alive was December 14th. And this was already concerning. But then it comes to find out the neighbor saw the eviction sticker on their home, the actual home, not the condo, in Celebration, Florida, and contacted their family and was like, hey, like, we see this, we can't get a hold of them, like, what's going on? And that is when Tony's sister became very concerned. December 19th, 2019, Tony's sister would call the police and say, you know, I haven't heard from my brother or anyone in their family, and I would really like a wellness check. So the police go out to the house. They also see the eviction sticker or paper, but the doors are all shut. No one appears to be home. Everyone knows that this family does travel often, so they really didn't think much of it, and just that they weren't there and they'll come back later. She also asked the police if they could go to the condo, so they went there. Again, no one there, nothing going on, so they left. So on January 6th, his family starts to find out about the whole FBI thing, that he never came back. Like the police are finding out, everyone's finding out about the fact that he has a case with the FBI and now he's gone. So his sister calls back again on January 10th and is like, listen, we need a wellness check. Something is not right here. Go check on them. No one's there. January 12th, they check again. No one is home. January 13th, the FBI goes to the house because, hello, sir, you were supposed to come talk to us. Like, we're not just gonna forget about this. They see the eviction sign. They see that the mail hadn't been touched in weeks, and they just were gonna stake out the house, basically. And at 7:45 a.m. that morning, they saw Tony on the porch. He seemed out of it and kind of like wobbly and just not right. And so Tony went to the house, and the police, or the FBI, called the police and was like, hey, we want backup because we don't know what's going on here. We don't know where the family is. Like, we don't know if he has weapons. Like, we have no idea what's going on here. Can you please come help us go into this house and arrest him? So the local police come and meet up with the FBI. They go to Tony's door. It was unlocked, so they open it. And Tony was on the stairs having a very difficult time going up or down them. And they immediately are hit with the smell of deceased bodies. People say, like, you never forget that smell, and they immediately knew, like, this is not right. So they asked Tony, where's your wife? And he turns around, he says, Megan. She doesn't respond, obviously. And so that was like, oh crap, like, we need to walk. They already knew that they needed to look, but now they're sure they need to look. And they ask him, like, where are your kids? He says, well, I'm not sure. I think they're spending the night somewhere. Had no idea where his kids were. So the cops, you know, help him down the stairs, and they start searching the house. And that is when they were met with a scene I would wish for no one to see. So they saw feet from underneath the sheets on the bed in the master bedroom, Tony and Megan's bed. And so they saw that that was Megan's body. And then on a mattress on the floor, they saw that the two boys were there, deceased. The boys were holding crucifixes. Megan had Tony's wedding ring on. The family dog also had passed away and was on the ground. And they started looking in the house for Zoe. They couldn't find her. And they asked Tony, and Tony said, oh, she's sleeping in her room. She's not in there. They're looking all around, and it turns out that she was in the bed at the foot of her mom. But she had decomposed so badly that they didn't notice. the first time they looked in the room. So they found her too, and she was not holding anything. Tony then told the police that he had ingested a fatal amount of Benadryl and needed to go to the hospital. So they took him and he confessed. And then later he would say that he didn't actually do it and change his mind. And he would come up with several different stories, which is like totally normal in these cases of parents murdering their children. For some reason, they always try to come up with as many different scenarios as they possibly can, which is disgusting. So he claimed at one point that him and Megan had been planning this for a long time. And he used a quote that Megan had said to either his sister or her sister, where she said that the end of the world was December 28th. And no one could really figure out what that meant. I don't think we really even know now. But he says that they were planning this whole time, that they all wanted to be together in the afterlife, and the only way to do this is to all die at the same time. So he claims that she stabbed herself twice, took Benadryl, and then he suffocated her to finish the job, that he stabbed the boys, and he's not sure if he stabbed Zoe, and that he gave them all Benadryl and suffocated to finish the job for each of them. And that is what he claimed to the police. Later, he would claim that he doesn't really remember anything, which is weird because he does recall watching football on his couch the next day after his whole family was murdered. But yeah, that's besides the point. So the autopsy come back and would show that they all did have Benadryl in their system. Alexander had been stabbed. Alec had been stabbed in the stomach and had a rib injury. Tyler had been stabbed in his upper stomach, injuring his intestines. And Zoe, we're unsure if she was or not because her body was so decomposed at that point that they honestly could not tell. They didn't know. Later we would find out that Zoe was actually supposed to be holding this Minnie Mouse necklace that Tony claims he had went to the condo to go find before her passing, but couldn't find it, got so tired from looking for it that he passed out in his condo. And then he asked his sister, could you go get it from the condo for me? And told her where he thought it would be, and it was exactly there. So I don't know how he didn't find it when he was there. I don't even know what point he was trying to make or what he was trying to cover up with that story. But it was right there. So she was not holding anything, but everyone else was, which I thought was very odd. He would call his sister a few times and just kind of insinuate that this was Megan's fault, but not outright really say it. He would say that, he forgot everything from before Christmas, doesn't even remember flying to, the home in Florida, doesn't remember the altercation with the FBI, just complete memory loss, very, what's the word? Convenient. Some of his family thinks that the reason he did this is because Tony had a hard life when he was younger. When he was 4 years old, his dad hired someone to murder his mother. They attempted it. The mother survived. The dad went to prison. Still claims that he's innocent to this day. Wasn't really a part of Tony's life, which Tony says was very difficult for him not to have a father figure. So some people want to blame it on that. I don't think you can really blame anything on this type of thing. There is no blame. It's one thing to become an alcoholic or, have trauma and depression from something like that. It's another to kill your entire family and your dog. Literally murdered everyone. A family annihilator. That isn't, you can't blame any amount of trauma on that, in my opinion. There's no explanation or excuse for that. But some people say, maybe that's why he did it. Honestly, I don't think there is a reason why these things happen. They just don't make sense. And our minds want to have a reason why, and they want an explanation, and they want to, we want to know, why would this happen? Why did Chris Watts do what he did? Why did Anthony do this? Why did the Casey Anthony thing happen? What was the reason why? And we'll never know, and I honestly don't know if we want to know or if there honestly is even a reason. It's disgusting and it's very sad, and this whole family, just all their lives just taken so short for no reason, for nothing. It's extremely sad, and I can't imagine being the kids having to go through that. The oldest boy, Alexander, he fought his dad when his dad was trying to do this. He was awake, he was conscious, and he was watching his father do this and fought for his life. Just I can't imagine experiencing that with a stranger as an adult. Nonetheless, being a child and it being your parent. It's really sad. He was originally charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and then animal cruelty, but they lowered the charges to second-degree murder, which I feel like is completely unfair, and then the animal cruelty. Whenever the trial happens, I'll probably do like an update video. At minimum, he deserves life with no parole. For people like this, you know, it's just like they never get the punishment they deserve. Some people are pro death penalty. I won't go into the politics, but you know, I feel like that's not even a good enough punishment. Like there's nothing humane that we can do to really give these people the punishment they deserve. So that is how I feel about that. Like there's nothing that we can legally do to show this man the type of punishment that someone who does these things deserves. So I hope you, I hate saying enjoyed this because I don't really feel like it's enjoyable, but I hope that I did an okay job covering this case. There was a lot more detail into it, but I didn't want to be too boring. So I hope that you liked it. I don't know what to say. Thank you for watching. Please let me know what other like cases you'd like me to do, and then please watch my cameo on the Dr. Oz show. It'd mean a lot to me. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.